Peace out. What's up, everybody? It's Mars Sports. It is your boy, Marshall. We do some high school football stuff on here, and it's really fun. So yeah, we're doing high school football stuff. So yeah, but today we'll be predicting 64 games, which would be interesting. So yeah, this is I'm gonna do live streaming since I can do it like this. So, yeah, we're gonna go over every game. For 5 Division 2, 5 Division 1, 6 Division 2, 6 Division 1. Um, so yeah, but let's work if I can do this, shall we? So anyway, but basically we got past the first round. Some surprises, some upsets. You never know what could happen, but that happened the first round. So including an undefeated Wiley East going down the Rockwall East. So that was interesting to say the least. But yeah. Anyways, let's work back and do this. So we are here in 5 Division 2 for now. So let's do this. Let's start off with let's go on to go to the bracket at this point. Melissa and Andrews. Melissa beat up Cobble Harris last week. I don't know what the score was, but I don't have as much knowledge in high school football as I do for college, so just bear with me. Melissa's definitely had a bounce back season this year because they missed the playoffs last year. Just kind of crazy to think, but since Frisco Emerson fell off a cliff, Melissa's back in. They're second. They're finished second in the division. To beat Colleyville Heritage 41-10. So definitely a lot of good things going for them. That being said, they are taking on Andrews. Andrews has been a really good team this year. They won their El Paso district, so definitely a lot of good things for them going there. But yeah, they've only lost 2 times this year. One that was to El Dorado in the start of the year, and then the other one was to closest game to Del Valle. So who also made the playoffs? Yeah, but or Del Valle, whatever it is. Del Valle? I don't know. Ah, this stupid freaking website's gonna be ad blocker crap. Crap about ad blocker, bro. Okay, let's do this. All right, I got it loaded up. Yeah. Andrews, they won their game 2014 over Wichita Falls Memorial. So the Wichita Falls Memorial is usually a pretty good team. Yes, it's their second year in existence, but they're really just a reincarnated version of Rider High School. Rest in peace to Rider High School. So yeah, because of course Wichita Falls kind of switched their schools up. So yeah, but overall, I'm gonna go Melissa to win this game. 6-7% go with them as well. Now Anna versus Paul Duro. Anna's 9-2. They only have 2 losses on the year, I believe. They're to Melissa in Walnut Grove, if I'm not mistaken. Walnut Grove and Melissa. Yep, both were really close games. So it's a very good team this year. They've been doing really good since they got climbed in the 5A Division 2 ever since they won the 4IC Championship in 2023. So lots of good things going for them there. They're taking on Palo Duro teams. They actually only has 1 loss this year. They've been really good this year. Palo Duro, they won their obviously they won their last game, but like how they doing their last game? They beat James Hanks High School 56-7, so blowout for them. But yeah, Palo Duro though, I will say they may be a dark horse in the playoffs. So I'm gonna go Anna to win. 29% go with them. Yeah. Now I got the game I'll be going to Abilene Cooper and Argyle. Abilene Cooper, they've been really good. They've been good this year. I mean, I remember they were like 4-6. They won a game, but they're 8. They have 3 losses on the year. They're in that Abilene district, like Wiley, Lubbock schools, and Amarillo. So they're in a very, very wide-ranging district. Yes, they beat Chapin 42-35 last week. There's an Argyle team who just shut out Lovejoy 56-0. So considering the fact Argyle lost them at home 2 years ago, and that's the same team that broke their like 11-year winning streak at home. I mean, Argyle, man, if they play like that for us to playoffs, they will make it to AT&T Stadium potentially. So now obviously they go through South Oak Cliff, but yeah, they have potential at that point. So yeah, I'm gonna take Argyle. I think they'll win this game. It'll be in Godly, by the way. Now we got Del Valle versus Walnut Grove. Del Valle is the one team that beat district champion Andrus all year. And they beat who did they beat last week? They beat Wait, this is inaccurate. Hold up. No, wait. Okay. This is an error. This is actually Lubbock Cooper, not Del Valle. if that's an error. As Walnut Grove. Walnut Grove is in the next round. This is just an error on this website, I will say. But Lubbock Cooper, they've definitely not been as good as they usually are this year. Like, I mean, they're not bad. I think they're like 7-4 right now. But they've definitely not been as good this year, I will say. They're still a decent team. They could do some stuff. They're taking Walnut Grove, who's undefeated, by the way. They beat Seguin by 14 points last week. So considering they beat them by 7 last year, definitely an improvement. But yeah, I'm going to go Walnut Grove. They are the dark horse in the playoffs, in my opinion. Yeah. Next game, we have Huntsville versus Terrell. Huntsville, man, they always make it a decent amount in the playoffs, even if the regular season's kind of they usually make it pretty far in the playoffs. Huntsville, this is usually the time they peak in the year. So, yeah. With that being said, they're taking on Terrell, who's undefeated this year, by the way, which is pretty insane to think. But, yeah. But Terrell, though, they've been really good team this year. I think they beat who did they beat last week? Seagoville, a 72-14, so blowout game for them. So, yeah. So I think they could be really good here. They're definitely one of the dark horses too in that region. I honestly might be them and South Oak Cliff in the end. So, or probably the next game. It would be in the next game. But yeah, I'm gonna go Terrell. So yeah. And they didn't come down. They came up to 5 and not that long ago. So they're 4 and pretty recently. Yeah. Now I got a rematch of the season. Midlothian Heritage taking on Texas. Midlothian Heritage actually beat Texas earlier this season in the third game of the season. Midlothian Heritage, they've been good this year. They have I think how many losses they have this year? They have 3 losses. One of them was the Argyle, I believe. I don't know who the other 2 were too, but yeah, but Stephenville and Terrell. But Terrell's a close game, I will say. So yeah, they beat Dallas Hillcrest 45-7. I'll just say this. Outside of South Oak Cliff, the Dallas schools suck, bro. Like football wise. Yeah. South Oak Cliff was carrying that district, bro. I swear. Yeah, they're taking on Texas, who just beat Lake Creek in a relatively close game. So yeah, but honestly, it could go either way. It's a rematch. I'm going to say Midlothian Heritage gets another win against Texas this year. Yeah, but that's only 2 fits. Texas has one only loss. Now I got Ennis versus Port Neches Groves. Ennis did pretty good in their game. They did really good. They beat Wilson 70-35, so a lot of offense in that game. So there's that. And they're taking on Port Neches Groves, who's undefeated this year. They actually beat who was it they lost to last year? Splendora. Who was the team they lost to last year? It was someone really random they lost to. It was Netherlands, I think. Port Neches Groves. Who was it? It was Netherlands. That's who it was, not Splendora. Splendora's the other team in their district. Yeah. There's that PNG though. They've been really good this year. They're actually the first undefeated regular season they've had in a while. So yeah, and they can honestly get South Dakota for their money this year. We'll see. I'll go PNG to win this game. Now I got Connolly versus Randall. Connolly's been pretty good this year. They beat Jefferson 65-0, which is insane. I believe that's one of the Houston or San Antonio schools. I'm pretty sure it's or an Austin school. I don't know. One of those schools. They're 7-4. They came in third in their district. So yeah, but they are taking on Randall. Randall is the defending state champion, so there's that. I'm gonna go Randall to win this one. Now I got Brenham versus Liberty Hill rematch from last year's game. Brenham's been really good this year. They have one loss, which was a kind of a bad loss to I think it was Connolly. No, it was I think I forgot who it was. It was two, but Brenham. Who was their one loss to this year? Oh, it's university. I think Connolly's a Waco school for some reason. There's that. I'm saying Liberty Hill, who has 2 losses this year. Let's see. I have to search it up separately on this. Just go in the bracket, actually. They're 9-2, though. They're undefeated in district because they actually lost their first 2 games to Blowout Fashion and Cibolo Steel, and then lost an overtime game to Rouse. So there's that. But then they beat Lanier 62-0 last week. Meanwhile, Brenham beat who was it they beat? Where are they? 28-7. It's not going in order of the bracket necessarily. They beat Texas City. So yeah. Who thinks to win this game? I think Liberty Hill gets. I actually think Liberty Hill's going to get their revenge this year. I originally picked Brenham. I think it's going to be Liberty Hill. I got Iowa Colony taking on P. Pflugerville. Iowa Colony, I think they're a dark horse in this scenario. I think they honestly could win. Honestly, I think they're not picked to win the region because I think they could get revenge on Randall. Yeah, Iowa Colony is it's probably the best team that can rival that can at least compete with Randall. So yeah, they're taking on Pflugerville, who P. Pflugerville. That's what I call them. Where is P. Pfluger? P. Diddyville? No, they beat Sam Houston. Who was that? Sam Houston from San Antonio. 64-35. So a lot of offense. Iowa Colony beat Belton 63-21. So I think Iowa Colony is a really dang good team this year. Give me them to win. Now I got Pioneer versus Bourne. Pioneer, I mean, where are they on here? Pioneer, they are 7-4 this year. They beat who was it they beat? They beat Ed College Elsa in their last game. So I will say that was pretty evenly matched. There are 2 6-4 teams, yeah, from Rio Grande Valley. Yeah. They will be taking on who is it they're taking on? Sorry. I'm not looking at the tab 24/7, but they're taking on Bourne, who's 1 loss all year, and they won the district last year in their first year in 5A, by the way. So yeah, very impressive stuff, and looking like they can win it again this year. Good lord, it's a tapping your ad blocker, bro. Their 1 loss is the first game to Piper, and I will say Piper is not as good as they've been, but nonetheless, they've definitely recovered after that loss. Yeah, but I'm gonna go Bourne to win this game. Yeah, now it's Sharyland versus Gregory Pioneer. Sharyland is 9-3. They've been pretty good this year. Wait, they're 9-3. How do they play 12 games? Sorry, this website low key kind of sucks. Coming accuracy, they're 8-3. As they beat who they beat in their last game? They beat Porter 56-7. This is Brownsville Porter, by the way. Not where's the one from Houston? Wherever they're from. Yeah. There's that. They're taking on Gregory Portland, who's 10-1. They've been really good this year, I will say. They beat Tivy 75-50. A lot of good lord. The defense does not exist in that game. Their 1 loss is to Sinton, who's a really good team in 4A Division 2, I believe is what they play in. They actually might go down 3 next year from what I heard. But yeah, I'm gonna go Gregory Portland to win. Their defense has got to lock in though. We'll say. Yeah. Now I got Victoria West versus Veterans Memorial. Victoria West is 10-2, man. I'll tell you what. They've been contender a third in the district. They're 9-2. Sorry, 9-2. This seems so inaccurate. Their 2 losses are actually decently close losses to Alamo Heights and Ballern. So yeah, they beat up Corpus Christi Miller, 61-23 last week. To be granted, Christy Miller is not as good as they usually are, but sorry, I keep on skipping Corpus. Miller is not as good as they used to be. Yeah, they have Mission Venice Memorial who beat Pace in a pretty stacked game last week. So yeah, there's that. Or 41-14. Their 1 loss. Who's their 1 loss to? So Laredo LBJ in a close game. So, but I'm actually gonna go with I'm gonna go with Victoria West. Then we got Alamo Heights versus it's going back there. Okay. Alamo Heights versus Mercedes. Alamo Heights is 10-1. Is that their logo? I don't know that. They're usually really good in football, so it's not shocking that they're here. But they're taking on an undefeated Mercedes team. Yeah, by Alamo Heights beat Carroll 60-0, not South Lake Carroll, but Corpus Christi Carroll. Then they beat an undefeated Mercedes. They're taking on an undefeated Mercedes team who won last week. God dang it, this dang thing. Ooh, turn off your ad block. No, I'm not turning off my ad blocker. You can suck it, bro. I'm not paying for your premium subscription. I love Max Pressly. Good lord, it's so bitchy about my ad blocker. 65-29 is what they beat Roma by last week. Yeah, it's not great. Roma's not that good, but yeah. I'm gonna go with Alma Heights to win though. I think they'll take down Mercedes. And then for then also Saturday. Thursday, Mount Pleasant versus South Oak Cliffs. Mount Pleasant won their first playoff game since the 90s, apparently, so good for them. They beat who they beat last week? I think it was Montgomery they beat last week, 40-38. So yeah. They're taking on South Oak Cliff though, and South Oak Cliff, they're really dang good this year. Like they always are. Give me South Oak Cliff. Yeah, Bastrop versus University. Bastrop is where are they at? Where is this? Okay. Bastrop is 10-1. They've been really good this year. They honestly a dark horse in this thing. Yeah, their one loss is kind of a crushing loss to Liberty Hill, but I mean, they really got outside of that. Take on University, who's the one team that's beat Brenham all year, and they crushed Brenham. But yeah, so this ought to be a good game. But I'm gonna go with Bastrop to win. So, yeah. Does it actually say the third round for me? So no, okay. Okay. All right, now we're gonna go to log in. Hold up. The hell, bro. The hell, bro. Okay, continue until we get your name. Okay. Fan. I'm a fan, bro. I'm a fan of you. Oh yeah. Save pics. Let's go. All right, now I will share my screen. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yes. Oh yes. Onion. Oh samosa. I'm up in the morning. I want a samosa. Okay, sorry. That's a song about primes, bro. Ask Ayush about that, bro. Or Amor. I'm sorry. That's his new name apparently for every fantasy team he names. I'll play for free. For free, bruh. Let's do this. Now I got Richland versus El Dorado. Richland's sick. They're 8-4 this year? No, they're not 8-4, bro. What the frick? They have Richland's usually one of the better teams, but I mean, it's just they're in a tough district. They're with Denton Ryan. They're with Alito, who that's with 77 on them or something like that, whatever it was. They also lost to Colleyville earlier in the year. So yeah. Richland's usually a pretty dang good team, though, we'll say. Why is it giving me last year's bracket though? Why the hell? Why is it giving me last year's bracket? Okay, there we go. The El Dorado this will be at Texas Tech, by the way. So that's sick. Yeah, 8-3. Their three losses come to Alito, Denton Ryan. It's actually a pretty close game against an Encava Heritage, I believe, is the other loss. But yeah. At the time, El Dorado, who's been the best team out there in El Paso as of late. Yeah, I do think, and they beat, but they, but listen to this game. Listen to this score. All right, first off, Richland beat Wyatt last week, 37-43, so a lot of offense, but that's nothing compared to this. El Dorado beat a not very good Amarillo team. What's their record? It's 2-9. Oh Lord, you almost lost to them, and they lost. They beat Amarillo 77-76. That's insane, dude. Like that is genuinely insane. That looks like a basketball score, bro. I swear to God. I'm gonna go Richland. I just don't trust a team that newly lost to a 2-8 team to win. But yeah. Now I got Ryan versus Allen. This is a trap game for Ryan. We'll say Ryan's really good this year. They won losses to Alita like it always is. It seems like, but they could come in clutch in the playoffs. I will say. But sorry, I'm trying to pull up the bracket on my other side too. What the hell, bro? Oh yeah. But Abilene's been really good this year. Who do they play? So they have 2 losses this year. The 2 losses come against Permian Legacy, so 2 6As to be completely fair. But they've been really good. They scored 84. They beat Bel Air 84-25. Good lord. Yeah, some of these scores are insane though. Honestly, 84 points. That's insane, bro. It's on Denton Ryan though, who beat Chisholm Trail 59-7 last week. Also, I think Denton Ryan's in a stronger district, so I will take them to win. But Allen's usually pretty competitive. They could upset them. Just saying. Now I got Tascosa versus Alito. Tascosa won their game last week against Parkland, 84-13. Good lord! I thought Abilene crushed them. Dang, their defense actually was better though. 84-13 last week. Good lord, bro. Between Alito, who won 80-12, so insane scores in the 5 Division 1. That's all I'll say. But Alito, I think, will win this game. Alito is really dang good this year. Now I got Monterey versus Arlington Heights. Monterey beat Americas last week, 50-32, while Arlington Heights beat Brewer 36-23. This could be an interesting game between 2 pretty good teams, I will say. Yeah, I'm going to go with Arlington Heights to win this one. I earned a 5 Division 2 a long time ago, or a few years ago. They got Georgetown versus Lone Star. Georgetown, it's actually a home game for them, so I know it says different on here, but for some reason they wanted to play the game in Georgetown. But yeah, I don't know a lot that decided to do that. They're 9-2. They've been pretty good this year. Who are their 2 losses to? Their 2 losses are to one of them's in district. They're second in district. They lost to Belton and Cedar Park. Okay, that's fair. They're both pretty close. 60-52. Good lord. They played a take on Lone Star team who took on my Argyle Eagles, bro. They crushed them in Argyle somehow. But yeah, Lone Stars are really good this year. They're undefeated. They are the dark horse in that part. And honestly, if I Division 1 this year, they might make it all the way to state championship. They look really, really good. I'm gonna take them to win that game. Now I got Midlothian versus West Mesquite. Midlothian is 8-2 so far. Whatever record they are. They're 8-3. Sorry, yeah. It's just sorry. These records, max press record. My record is much more accurate information. They beat ECU 36-60. They've actually had some weird games this year. Like they was a Joshua or something. They take a West Mesquite who beat Frisco 20-24 last week. So close game there, but I think this could be an interesting game. But I'm gonna go with Midlothian to win. I got Reedy versus Highland Park. Reedy is pretty good this year. I remember when they lost to Lake Ridge, which was very strange at the time. Lake Ridge ended up being a pretty good team this year. Really good team, yeah. They're 8-3. 2 losses to Wakeland. They lost to Lake Ridge, Wakeland, and Lone Star. So they're taking on Highland Park, whose 1 loss is to who are they 1 loss to? I feel like it was an out-of-state team. I don't know. Why is there no logo for them on Max Preps, bro? Who was their 1 loss to? Rockwall. Okay, that's fair. They lost to Rockwall Heath, I guess. Who just took the undefeated Wiley East, yeah. Bar of the East, baby. Yeah. Highland Park though, they've still been really good this year. They've recovered since their first game. I'm gonna take them to win this game. Plus, they're the reigning runner ups. Yeah. Now Wakeland versus Cedar Park. This is marching minutes. Be absolute cinema. Wakeland is 10-1. Their one loss coming to Lone Star. They take out Cedar Park though, who won their district. Aren't they? They're 8-3. They won their district. Was it Harker Heights, Vandegrift, who they somehow beat last year, and they also lost to Eastview as well. So there's that. Definitely had some weird games this year, but they've been really good for them. They've been good for the most part. Yeah, I'll take Wakeland to win this game. A&M Consult. And normally big school districts don't do very well in football, but Frisco will say is an exception. They should do pretty good, especially Lone Star. All right, A&M Consolidated versus A&M Consolidated versus Port Arthur Memorial. I think Port Arthur Memorial is actually undefeated, so inaccuracies. Inaccuracies. Port Arthur Memorial beat Galena Park 42-0 last week, so blowout game for them. Galena Park's not that good, but still. To the A&M Consolidated, who beat Crosby 27-26 last week. So yeah, but Port Arthur Memorial hasn't lost the game all year. They've been really good. I think I can see going all the way to the state championship. I'll take PAM. Pam. Now I got College Station versus Beaumont. Such a one game win already. What the fudge? College Station, they are 6-4. They're 7-4 this year. They won their first game against Angleton 42-23. Let's see how Beaumont United, who just beat St. Antonio Madison 27-19. So, yeah. But I think it's going to be a good game between these teams. College Station is usually the one that's. They're at state championship not that long ago, so I'll take them to win. Now we got Lufkin. Now, no, College Station not as good as they used to be with stuff. They're used to so. Now we got Lufkin versus Weiss. Or versus the Huz. The Huz. Weiss has been really good this year. They beat Laporte 42-35 last week. Well, didn't Laporte make it pretty far last year? So that was in Laporte's brand new stadium, by the way. Yeah, this game at Wolf Forest Bank Stadium, by the way. Lufkin is 8-3. They're usually good in football, and they beat Westbury last week 35-10. So yeah, I'll take Weiss to win this one. They were 6 not that long ago. Wish I can shut up by Cedar Hill. Oh, yeah, Barron's Memorial taking on Cincinnati Valley. But this is Corpus Christi, Barron's Memorial. This game will be at the Alamo Dome, so what a location for that. Cincinnati Valley is 10-1. They are the defending state champions of 5A Division 1, so they're looking to recap on their they're definitely to run it back this year. So one loss is to Brennan. That's fair, actually. Let's see. What's Brennan's record? 10-1. Yeah, that's fair. But it's just about they're looking really good again this year. So maybe they'll make it all the way again this year. We'll see. They're taking on Veterans Memorial. They've been good this year. They beat Cincinnati Valley beat whoever that South something 49-0 as they beat Corpus Christi beat Vela 31-26 on the road. Yeah. They're 8-3. They've been pretty good this year, but I'm going to take Cincinnati Valley. We got Flower Bluff versus Piper. Flower Bluff's usually really good. They beat McAllen 45-7 last week. But we'll say it's a trap game because Piper's, while they're not as good as they used to be, they beat Jay 33-14. Yeah, I'm actually going to go with Flower Bluff this year, though. Now I got Born Champion taking on Far San Juan Alamo. What a weird name for a high school, bro. The Laredo SAC. It's just PSA, by the way. PSA is undefeated this year, and they beat Mission Veterans. Mission, I think it is. Who is it? Mission, 65-14. Wait, who was the team that Cincinnati Valley beat, by the way? Southside. That's who it was. Okay. But they've been really good this year. Taking on Born Champion, who beat South San Antonio, I think that is. Southwest, sorry. 41-14. So, yeah, but I'm going to go with PSA. New Braunfels versus McCallum Memorial. New Braunfels has been good this year. They beat Nixon, 49-14. We think they're 6-8 like 2 years ago. And McCall Moore beat Harlingen South last week, 35-21. So yeah, I want to go New Braunfels here to win. Yeah. And then last night is Barbersville and Anderson. Barbersville's 8-3. They've been good this year. So an Anderson team how many? They have one loss this year? Yeah, they have one loss. They've been really good this year, and they could be dark horse. See how take Anderson. Pittsburgh State. Let's go. Moving on to about those games will be picked in the coming weeks. Let's do this. Let's go on to 6A Division 2. Right now we got Byron Nelson versus Eastwood. Byron Nelson's 8-2. They've been good this year. They for sure. What is it? They for sure have mourned. What is how to put this? They for sure played well and honored for their late and great head coach, Travis Pride. Rest in peace. I heard that happen. I heard about that happening earlier this year. It's very tragic. Rest in peace. So they've carried his legacy on in a very good way so far. They're in the second round of the playoffs, man. Credit to them. Byron Nelson, they've avenged his death, I'd say, pretty well, football wise. Yeah. They're taking on, but yeah, rest in peace though. It's Coach Pride. Yeah. They're taking East, and they beat Byron Nelson beat Mansfield last week, 42-14. So they're taking Eastwood, who beat Friendship 45-30. Granted, Friendship's not as good as they used to be, considering they shut the schools and all that. But yeah, but Eastwood and Byron Nelson be playing each other. I think it's gonna be an interesting game, but I'm gonna go with Byron Nelson to win. Now I got Jesuit versus Guywood. Jesuit might be going down to 5A next year. This is a rumor. I don't know if that's actually gonna happen, but this will be at Joy and Ralph Ellis Stadium in Irving, Texas. Yeah, Jesuit beat Lamar 61-41. This is on to Lamar, by the way. To take on Guy who beat Rock Hill 40-0. So yeah, but I think Guy's gonna win. They're really good this year. I think their 2 losses. They had 2 losses. I know they have one elite. I forgot who the other one was against though. Oh, it was North Crowley. Yeah, I forgot about that. Oh, that's fair. Now we got South Lake Carroll taking on San Angelo Central. South Lake Carroll is the best team in Texas, bro. They've just been. And they could have scored more on Crowley last week. 35. It was 35-0 still, though, to be fair. And Crowley is not that good this year. But I think South Lake Carroll, man, they're my pick to win the state championship this year. They've been really good. They're taking on San Angelo Central. This will be at Arbrow Stadium, the new Stephenville Stadium. So San Angelo Central beat Hills 24-14. So I don't think they've been good this year, but I don't think they have anything for Carroll. I got Prosper Berkner. Berkner's usually a pretty good team. They're 8-3 this year. They beat Bowie 30-28. So close game there, and the concern, but on the road, man, they were. So there's that. They're taking on Prosper. Just beat Hebron 66-39. So defense definitely did not look great last week. I was at LSU played Vanderbilt in 2019. Wasn't that the same score? Good Lord. $66-38. Huh. 66-39. Close enough. But yeah, I think Prosper will win this game. They're always really good in football, no matter how many new schools they open up. I think their one loss is to Allen this year. That's understandable, obviously. How are they in D2, bro? So we're how they're in division. Well, I guess I don't shrink their school. I don't know. Yeah. Now you have the Soto versus Longview. The Soto is 8-3 this year. They're really good. Their 3 losses though, kind of really good team. One of them was like a crushing loss to. I don't know where the team was from, but it was to. No, not Prosper. Sorry, clicked on the wrong one. This is at Waco IC Stadium, by the way. It was a bad loss to Creekside, who's from Georgia. They're 11-0. They're one of the best teams out there. Yeah. Hmm. Plus, it was a road game for them, I guess. Yeah. They also lost to North Crowley, which is, I guess, kind of fair. And Duncanville. So they've lost to really good teams, to be fair. But they're taking on Longview. Longview beat the snot out of them last year. 50-14 was like the final score, something like that. I don't even know. But Longview, they have 4 losses this year. I mean, they might be going down to 5 next year. They're one of those flex teams. But it seems like they're always flexing between 5A and 6A. They're 7-4. They're like the one team in the last few months to actually give South Oak Cliff a game run for their money. Yeah. But four really close losses to South Oak Cliff, Ruston, Forney, and North Forney. So, yeah. Yeah, but I think as long as you beat the snot out of them last year, we're going to Soda win this one this time. I think it'll be revenge. Revenge, baby. Revenge. We'll see, though. It'll be an interesting game. I think it'll be closer than the last time they played each other. What was the 50-14? Yeah, that was. Oh, Lord. That was not good for DeSoto. Now I got College Park versus Cypress Lakes. College Park has been really good. They're undefeated so far. They beat Eisenhower? Yeah. 11, or they beat him 45-6. I'm seeing on Cypress Lakes who beat Magnolia. So actually surprised to beat Magnolia last week. So I feel like I have Magnolia going further. But yeah. But Cypress Lakes, man, this side beat a 5-5 team. They beat the 9-1. 9-1 Magnolia. So yeah. Cypress Lakes, though. I mean, they made it a lot farther than I thought, I guess. Yeah. I'll go College Park to win this one. Now I got Harker Heights versus Forney. Harker Heights finally won a playoff game. It seems like it's one of them are like one of those teams down there in that region that always loses, or district that always loses to like a mid-tier team from District 11. But yeah, like a Cedar Hill or a Lancaster. Why am I still on? Hold on. Okay, there we go. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, they beat Cedar Hill 28-14 last week. Forney beat Nauman Forest 56-27. So yeah, I think Forney will win though. Tomball versus Willis. Tomball, they've been good this year. We're so close to it. They're not. They're not. Both these teams are 9-2. To be at Randall Reed Stadium. So, but Tomball beat Wall last week 56-42, while Willis beat Westfield 23-20 last week. But yeah. Who thinks they win this game? This game should be interesting. Willis's losses are to bad loss to Klein College and won to College Park. Lost by 18 in that one. Yeah. Tomball. But I believe Willis is where DJ Lagway's from. So, probably said that in the recent video. But they also lost to Klein College. A close game though, and they lost to Magnolia by a lot. Overall, though, I do think Tomball is going to win. No, Katy versus Memorial, one of the billion Memorial schools that exist. Katy is 9-2, I'm pretty sure. No. Not wrong. No, wrong one. Okay. Sorry. As they beat Georgetown or George Ranch, sorry. Former 2015 5 Division 1. I think it's 5 Division 1 state champions that year. But yeah. For 2015, that's when they played Houston. They played Lake Ridge. But yeah. They beat George Ranch 42-7 last week, while Memorial beat Wisdom 50-6. I'm gonna go with Katie to win this one though. Not Summer Creek versus Manville. Summer Creek, man, I'll tell you what. They shut out North Shore, so they showed a lot of promise coming into the playoffs. The thing on Manville though, who beat Fort Pitt Hightower 70-35. So Summer Creek beat Clear Falls 58-14. So I'm gonna go Summer Creek to win this one. I got King versus Shadow Creek. King, they are. There they are. There they are. King has been really good this year. They're 9-2, and Shadow Creek's 8-3. I think both these teams are really good. King beat Clear Creek 56-7. Shadow Creek beat Fort Pitt Hightower 57-13. I will take King to win this one. Yeah. Now I got Harlan versus Shipping Springs. Harlan, man, they've been really good this year. Lost Saturday games, by the way. It's at Alamo Stadium. So they're 10-1. Jimmy Stevens 10-1 as well. Both these teams are really dang good this year. Jimmy Stevens really put themselves on the map whenever they beat Vandergrift in the first game. They beat them up. So I'm gonna go Jimmy win. Harlingen, now Harlingen versus Medina. Harlingen somehow has a losing record still, and they beat up La Jolla last week. So 58-20. So they turned to La Jolla and La Jolla because they're out of here, or no joy. And then Medina Valley beat Canyon last week, 56. Took out him, Como Canyon. I'm pretty sure that's what it is, but yeah. I'm going to Medina Valley, though. There's also a Thursday game on here. Now we got Jordan versus Stratford. Jordan's 8-3 so far. They're really good. They've been really good the last few years. So they're one of those Katy schools. They beat Foster 45-13. So you don't have to be on Foster in the playoffs with a 3-7 record. But it's on Stratford, who's 5-6, and they beat Houston Heights last week. That was kind of evenly matched, though. Well, not if we call it evenly matched, but yeah, not necessarily evenly matched. But the records are similar-ish. Yeah, they beat 55-35. But I'm gonna go Jordan to win this one. Now Edinburgh versus San Marcos. Edinburgh, they're going to 5 next year. That's that Buccaneer Field at Corpus Christi. So I guess that's where Corpus Christi Miller plays at. Pretty sure. San Marcos 7-4. They beat Eagle Pass last week, 42-10. So handily won that one, I guess, as they will be taking up. On the other hand, Edinburgh beat Veterans Memorial from. No, I'm pretty sure. 24 years. Guys, get more creative with your names. I'm sorry. I'm gonna go San Marcos to win this one though. Now I got Louis de Brandes taking on Vandergrift. Defending state champion Vandergrift, by the way. Brandes is 8-3. They've been really good this year. They beat Sotomayor in a close game, 35-32. They're taking on Vandergrift, who had to play Westlake in the first round of the playoffs, which is insane to me. They beat him 16-14. It's a huge win for them. That's probably that's the weirdest draw for them. That's probably the worst draw they could have possibly got. Well, for Westlake, I guess, because they lost. Yeah, I'll go Vandergrift though to win this one. Yeah. Now, last but not least, we have 6A Division 1. Division 1. Oh, shoot. Oh, good freaking Lord. Good fucking Lord, bro. All right, now I got North Carolina versus Midland Legacy, which is going to be called next year Midland Lee. Because that's what they yeah. But North Crowley has been really good. They've really avenged their loss since they got beat up by, or not beat up necessarily, but so they got beat by what is it? Rockwall earlier this season. That was so random. I lost to them. But North Crowley nonetheless been really good this year. You know, I remember they beat the snot out of Lake Ridge, the second best team in the district. 65-17, I think was the final score. Yeah. Take a look. As they beat Keller 42-20. So I mean, not the biggest loss in the world, not the biggest flaw in the world, but still pretty handily won, I will say. They're taking Middle Legacy who beat Franklin 60-42. So Lots of offense in that game, clearly. But yeah. There's a school called Santa Margarita. Is that drunk Santa? Yeah, because Legacy, Legacy, they've been good this year. And they beat. Did they? Who was the one they beat? It was Amarillo. They beat. They've been Birmingham. But yeah. But overall, though, it's hard to pick against North Crowley. Give me North Crowley. Los Fresnos versus United. Los Fresnos is undefeated so far. Wait, what the heck? Where are we? Oh, these are Saturday games, right? Okay, over now a little. Huh. They're all in this set the bracket, bro. So far, they beat Consrich Judson. Nothing last week. Los Fresnos beat Economics 40 or 35-10. So lots of good stuff going for both those teams. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Los Fresnos though. Now we got Richardson versus Coppell. This is Friday night game. Richardson is a 9-2, I believe. Their two losses are to Lake Ridge. I think it was the Jesuit was the other team you lost to. Oh my god, I can't see, bro. No, they beat Jesuit. Sorry. Who was the team you lost to? Was it Berkner? God, this thing is acting up like crazy. Thank you. Yeah, Berkeley. Both are close losses, to be fair. Yeah. But they're taking on Coppell, who's undefeated. Yes, had that weird game. Or actually, they're 9-1. But 9-1? Yeah, they had that really weird game against their worst game they played all season. Not even their loss, which is also got by 2 scores. Their worst game all season was Little Elm, to be fair. Little Elm was terrible. Yeah, I think Coppell has recovered since then. Give me Coppell to win. Now I got Lake Ridge versus Okay. I think it's this last week because video got cut short. Shout out to Lake Ridge, man. I love that school, bro. That is the school I would have gone to if I didn't move to Argyle. But that's where Jack goes. He's publicly said that too. So I'm not doxing or anything like that. Yeah, but shout out to Lake Ridge, man. They went from they were terrible, dude. Like they were awful. 2 years ago they didn't win a single game. They won one game last year. So they won one game the last 2 years. This year they were really good. They won 8 games regular season. They're 9-2 right now. They won their game against Trinity. We'll get to that in a second. They've been really dang good this year, dude. Their 2 losses are to 2 really good teams, North Forney, North Crowley. Yeah, kind of blowout losses, but still, Lake Ridge, man, they've been so good this year, man. And you know what's funny? Last week, I had a lot of ties to the match because they played Trinity. Lake Ridge, obviously, that's where I would have gone to. That's where Jack goes to. I have a bunch of other friends that go there. And Trinity, the team they played last week, they actually beat last week, is where my cousin goes. And one of my other cousins graduated from there. So I had a lot of ties with this. So if I would say Lake Ridge, it would have been so funny though if I did my cousin's school. Yeah. But yeah, shout out to Lake Ridge. Yeah, they've been great this year. With that being said, they are taking on Permian. Permian's been really good this year. They beat Eastlake 59-7 last year, and Lake Ridge beat Trinity 47-38. So yeah, who I think is going to win this game? I think Lake Ridge is going to win. Not even biased or anything. Well, maybe a little, but yeah. I got and actually went. Yeah, I went through their games and all that. So now I got Lake Highlands versus Allen. I would say, but for Lake Ridge's defense can be fluky sometimes, but I think if they lock in, they'll be fine. But yeah. Now I got Lake Highlands versus Allen. Lake Highlands, they're usually really good. I will say, usually a good team. Who's the team? They're at McKinney IC Stadium, by the way. That's a nice stadium, bro. Lake Highlands is 9-2. They're usually really good. Their 2 losses are to. Thank you. I could fix it next time. Fix it next time. Forney, close one to Forney, and close one overtime loss to Richardson. So they've been really good this year. With that being said, they're taking Allen, who's undefeated. They've been really good this year. If anyone can rival Duncanville, it's probably going to be them. Or North Crowley, I guess. Yeah. Give me Allen another win. So, Duncanville, Rockwall. Duncanville's really good this year. I mean, they had that one loss against Waxahachie. They've really recovered since they beat Minnesota and all of that. They're always really good. Rockwall Heath. Rockwall Heath could actually give them a decent run for their money, man. I'll tell you what. They're 8-3. They took down undefeated Wiley East. They also beat Highland Park. They've beat some really good teams. They beat Highland Park. And they also beat Rockwall, Wiley East. They beat North Forney in a 1-point game. Yeah. They've had some losses though, so they've been inconsistent at points. Like they beat who's Sandmont Hills, bro? Oh, from California. Oh Lord. Like they got crushed at Prosper, and they also got crushed at Longview, and they lost to Forney by 2 scores. Yeah, they've been inconsistent, but they can be really good, man. They've been really good at points this year. So yeah. I'll go Duncanville though. It's just hard to bet against them. Now I got Klein Collins versus the Woodlands. Klein Collins is really good this year. I mean, they're 10-1. They really good. Take on the Wood. They beat Bridges in 37 27 last week. Woodlands beat Vision Davis 24-0 last week. So I think this ought to be a really good match. Both these teams are really good. Who was the one team that Klein lost to? Klein Collins. Okay, Klein Oak. Fair enough. I mean, Klein Oak was not great, but they're decent. But yeah. I'll go with let me look at Woodlands again, just in case I'm missing something. They lost College for overtime. I'll take Klein Collins though. Where's Klein Collins ranked? Yeah, fair enough. I got Waxmore 40. Wax Hatch is really good. They beat Duncanville this year, so that's their big win of the year. They also lost North Forney, to be fair. But yeah, not North Forney. DeSoto. The Wax Hatch are really good this year. They can make it pretty deep in this playoffs, I'll say. They're one of the best teams out there. With that being said, they're taking on North Forney, who's been really dang good this year. This is probably the best year in a while. As their one loss is a 1-point loss. So I think it was Rockwall Heath. Yeah, there's that. But they've been crushing every point. They beat Longview by a point. They also beat some really good opponents. Like they beat Plano City good. No, they're not. Okay. But they beat Lake Ridge, Forney, Longview by 1 point, Rockwall, Saxe. They beat some really good teams this year, man. I'll tell you what. North Forney is really good. They are a dark horse in this playoffs. Yeah. Both these teams will be pretty much evenly matched, I will say. Yeah. Wax can beat Duncanville. They could, who knows? I think North Forney will actually pull out something out their butts. Give me North Forney to win. And be home. Okay. You probably saw where we're going. Cypress Ranch versus Grand Oak. Cypress Ranch. They are one of the Billion Cypress schools. 9-2 so far. They beat Klein Oak. No, that was Klein. Just not Klein. Just Klein. Klein High School. 40-24. They're taking on Grand Oaks, who beat Nimitz 38-28 last week. So this could be an interesting game. Both these. I'm going to go with Cypress Ranch, though. Warren Ranch, got from Cypress Ranch to Cinco Ranch, taking on Cypress Falls, because there's a billion Cypress schools. They have to put them on separate sides of the bracket. Cypress Falls beat Butler 63-3 last week, so big blowout. They're taking on Cinco Ranch, who beat Fulshire last week 47-21. So yeah, 21. That being said, though, take a look at these teams. These nuts. Got him. No, freak you. I'm not turning on my ad blocker, home. You stupid. You can ask all you want. I'm not turning it off. Ooh, we get paid. Shut the you get off my screen. All right. I'm going to say Cinco Ranch wins this game. North Shore, Ridge Point. North Shore has been. They've not been as good this year. They still been really good, but their 2 losses are to South Oak Cliff to start the year and the shutout loss to Summer Creek of all teams, but Summer Creek's really good, but still. North Shore, not been as good for them this year. They've still been really good. They're taking on Ridge Point, who's undefeated. I think, honestly, they could be the one to take down North Shore this early in the playoffs. And they're an all team, by the way. I'm going to go Ridge Point. This ought to be a good game. We'll see, though. Either be Blue Blood status or the new kid on the block. I don't know. Blue Blood is in 2018. Lamar versus Straight to Suit. Lamar beat Cy-Fair 35-24 last week. While Straight to Suit beat Paytal 36-21. 36-21 last week. So yeah. Where the heck is okay? Pull up their record, bro. Both teams are really good. It could be any one of these teams. Holy. As I will take Shrike to suit to win this game, though. I got a matchup of undefeateds in this early in the playoffs. Pearland versus Dickinson. Pearland beat Fort Bend Hightower last week. Or Fort Bend Travis, sorry. 29-27. Well, Dickinson beat Atascocita 51-47. Atascocita is usually really good. It's usually a good team. They weren't as good this year. I'll say they gave Dickinson run for the money. But yeah. Both these teams are really good, though. So Pearland's 47 in the state of Texas, according to the rankings. While Dickinson is 46. This is pretty much evenly matched. This is going to be the game of the week. I'm going to go Dickinson. I think they'll win. It's incredible how both those teams play in the second round. Yeah. Now I got Clyde Taylor Johnson versus Hutto. Hutto, how you doing? Hutto, how you doing? Hutto beat Bowie last week. This is Austin James Bowie High School. 35-28. Close game, but I mean, the win's a win. See Clyde Taylor Johnson, who's undefeated. They beat O'Connor 59-21 last week. So I'll take CTJ to win. Now I got West Lyco taking on Cibolo Steel. Or Bar and P Cibolo Steel, whatever the heck. What a shirt steel, whatever the frick you want to call them. Cibolo Steel is usually really good. They beat Laredo United. No, not Laredo LBJ 69, nice to 14. Lesco beat San Benito 33-0. San Benito, I thought they had a losing record. I feel like they're losing. Yeah, 2-9. What the? Yeah, I think Cibolo Steel though. I think they're a better team. I just want to think they'll win this game. Last but not least, we got a heck of a matchup, man. We got Brennan Lake Travis. Brennan's really good. This will be a Matador Stadium in Seguin. By the way, the Steel West Lyco game will be at Shirley Field in Laredo. Yeah, but Lake Travis has been really good. 11, they honestly they may or may not make it all the way to AT&T this year against other Duncanville North Corrales, yeah, or even Allen. Yeah, to take on Brennan though, this will be a really good game. Brennan's really good too. They have one loss all year. Who's that to? I think it's Clyde. What's Heartland? They're not a district with TTJ, bro. That's crazy. I think they're in a different school district, though, technically. There's Northeast and North Side. That's what confuses me the most, yeah. But yeah, I think this ought to be a great game. I'll take Lake Travis, though. Anyways, that's going to do it for this week. Next week, we'll do the third round. So anyways, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. Have a nice day. And goodbye. See you on the next one. Peace.
Stupid.
They're not.
What's 9 plus 10?
21.
You stupid.